that stuff to get it done?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's a long year. It's a long year, and it's probably been a longer year for us in a lot of ways. But I'll say it, and I've said it before, but I'm just proud to be a part of that group, and just proud to be a part of the resolve in that room, and the selflessness of our team. I think a lot of guys need to be commended tonight because that's a big win, especially when you're struggling, when you're down on numbers. In a lot of ways, that's a win that can propel you in ways where, in terms of work, you see the work that you're putting in as players. It feels good. It feels good to be rewarded. But Gorgie came in, gave us great minutes. Jared Bayless came in, gave us great minutes. Anthony, Cam was ready in the fourth quarter, gave us a good lift. Josh Okogie was all over the court, was great. And then I also think it should be noted with Andrew's aggressiveness and Carl in terms of, hey, he maybe had a lower point total, but he didn't force things. He tried to get to his spots, and he made plays for teammates too. 7 assists. So I think a lot of good things came out tonight.
On that last three, did you want Steph to be fouled there, or how did that kind of transpire? And then what did you think about just being able to hang in there and
Yeah, so we, yes, that's one of our concepts, but in terms of they're dangerous the way when they face you up, because the continuation of things, we saw it almost hurt us, the play before. So we'd like to foul when up three. A team doesn't have a timeout, especially winding down right there. But I think it ended up working out for us.
In terms of rotations, in terms of Tyus and Bayless and Saric and Tolliver, both of those guys that you stuck with in the overtime and most of the fourth quarter seem to be for spacing. Is that true?
Yeah, and we were playing well. We were playing, bottom line, I mean, we were playing well. That's the thing I credit our team with in terms of the unselfishness of guys. So Dario, I was going to put Tyus back in, but Jared had a nice drive, and I kind of looked at Tyus, and he goes, let him go, and we let him go. Dario was probably our best energy guy on the bench too. I mean, that just shows that these guys like each other and that they're not. There's no quit in this team. And then I want to make sure I acknowledge how good the fans were tonight too, in terms of just before I forget. That helps.
Ryan, you mentioned Cam a little bit earlier, but it seemed to turn right there at I think you subbed him like 7 seconds left in the third quarter, and he gave you a run. He looks to be so much more comfortable out there than he was right at the beginning. Talk about that lift he gave you, kind of. Yeah,
he's a professional, and for him being a rookie who came in on a 10-day, I mean, his approach is one that we love as a team and as an organization. We need more of those types of guys. He actually just said it to me in the locker room as we were walking around shaking hands at the end. Because we got beat on a play that they ran, about 4 times in the fourth quarter, and he was part of it in last week against Golden State in terms of where we weren't locking and trailing, where we weren't able to switch things properly. And we worked on that for the last 2 days. And Cam came in, he was cold, but he came in locked and trailed. He was good. And then as I was walking around, he goes, I told him good job, and he goes, lock and trail, right? And just but that means something, though. The fact that a guy, even though he hit a big three, we just got to win, he knew that was what he had to do to star in his role.
I think you guys pushed the lead up to 9 in that overtime period, and then when they come all the way back to tie it with a half second left, what do you say to the team in the huddle when you call timeout to set that up?
Yeah, just stay the course, and you try to be calm, like on my end, because a lot of times hey, there's a reason this team is who they are. I mean, they have unbelievable players. They have an unbelievable system, just in so many ways. Unbelievable coaching. So they're going to keep coming at you. And if we get frazzled as a coaching staff or just as a group, a lot of times our players will feed off that. So just staying calm is a positive.
Can you recall being part of a game that had really such a wild ending, where there's a three-pointer that maybe counts, maybe doesn't, and then one that ties it up, and then a foul on the inbounds at the end of the game in your coaching career?
Yeah, I mean, hey, I feel like I've seen a lot in these few months. If I recall, there was one in Memphis earlier in the season with us that was a little wild too. Fortunately, we're on the good end of it tonight.
Just overall, it's been a trying year, and a night like tonight,
what can it do just for morale, for boosting spirits, for the overall team chemistry, and after it's been such a tough year?
It's huge, and that wasn't a fluke win. I don't believe that was a win in terms of you hold Golden State to 18 points in the third quarter, and then you play them even at 29 in the fourth. But this is a team that's they're going to be playing more than likely they're going to be right there into June. I mean, there's a lot of obviously teams that have have put together nice seasons, but that's a really good team in that locker room. And for our guys to come out and just have the focus on things, you can't say enough about them.
Did you like the way Keita in his minutes defended Durant? Seems like he was able to limit him to some degree.
Yeah, his length is good, and I think you saw that at the end of the game we put him in basically at the 5, and we just started switching to try to take out the 3. So that's one of the things that we said we're going to try. Tonight gave us an opportunity to see it, and it was against the world champions in an overtime game, but it worked out.
Ryan, I think you're down 18 or 19 when Cat goes to the bench in the third quarter with foul trouble. I mean, what was able to flip, especially defensively, to allow you guys to scratch and claw back into it?
I think Gorgie was a big catalyst of that, his activity. And then Gorgie, he was locked in tonight in terms of what we want to do in pick and rolls. I mean, he was really good. Just being up in pick and rolls, just being active, getting deflections, and then rebounding as well. That's big for us because this team is just as dangerous after rebounds as they are, just in the open court or in the half court. Because a lot of times that's when team players are just stopping and staring at loose balls, and then that's where Curry or Thompson, Durant, these guys step into threes, and that's like a layup for them.
Is this one of those chances, you got 7 games left or whatever, and Gorgie's been in and out of the rotation, is this a chance for him to kind of set the record straight coming into next year? I mean, not only is he one of your best screeners, but as you say, good communication on pick and rolls without Taj in there. You need that communication.
Yeah, absolutely. And really, you've heard me use the phrase a couple times probably in the last week, but starring in your role, I mean that. And all we ask of guys is to play your role and play your role well. That doesn't mean get outside of yourself, and then we'll be good as a team. You'll win a lot of games and you'll enjoy it at the same time. So for him to solidify himself through these games, just staying within himself is a big thing, like all of our guys.
Was the plan for Cat to miss that second free throw intentionally, or was that just how it worked out?
No, that was the plan.